2, 1.
We're live.
Hey folks, we are live from Carolina Sweet Shop in Manning, South Carolina for another edition of Roundtable. I ran into these guys in the ice cream shop. They don't understand the one bowl per person rule, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, I want to welcome everybody to the Strike King NPFL Stop 1 at Santee Cooper, the very first event of the 2025 National Professional Fishing League season. My name is Ken Duke. Today was the final day of practice at Santee Cooper, and our tournament starts Thursday, we think, weather permitting, but that's looking pretty good right now. The guys I got with me are two of the best sticks on Santee Cooper you would ever want to run into. To my immediate left, Drew Cook, who's won a major event here. To my far left, Patrick Walters. He is a local. He has also won here. And I said I wanted both these guys on here at the same time, not realizing they were going to be eating rather than talking, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. These guys are friends, and yet I know how bad they want to beat each other. Now, Drew, you said something a little earlier when you walked in. You said you didn't care if you finished next to last as long as Patrick Walters was last.
Did you say that? That gets me fired up. Did you? I love that. Oh, I like how you said it when I wasn't listening, dude. Go ahead and get him fired up.
How serious are you about that statement?
I don't want to finish next to last.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you finish second and he wins, how pissed off would you be?
Pretty pissed off.
Pretty bad.
But he finished next to last. There's a good chance he still beat me. There's a good chance it was ahead of me. But
It is a national tournament, multi-day. He could finish last, and I could finish next to last and beat him.
I don't think either of you guys are going to finish last or next to last or anywhere near that. I think you guys, everybody's expecting you guys to be, well, if not win, at least put in a couple of top 10 performances. And I want to go into that because you guys are two of the absolute standouts of the NPFL. And, got to get my microphone in a better position. There we go. There we go. Our director and president of the NPFL, Brad Fuller, he launches boats. There's nothing this guy doesn't do. And now he's in charge of microphone placement. So hopefully you guys are in better shape than me there. But the NPFL has been here to Santee Cooper one time before. Patrick Walters, you won that event.
yes, sir.
I wasn't here, though.
That's a good point.
It was in May. He wouldn't have had a chance.
Do you feel like that was an accomplishment?
Not wrong.
When Drew Cook was not in the field, or do you feel like you just skated by?
I feel like in that tournament I would have been A-okay.
Yeah.
That was a good tournament. I fished well that week. Everything went well. It was in May, a little bit later. If it would have been in April, probably a different story. We're in March, and the good news is, I think it's going to be a fair shake.
Okay. It is.
I think it's going to be a flip of a coin.
But is it a flip a coin? I mean, you're a local. You fished here forever.
Local knowledge is good
It's a bad
and
thing
bad.
to Patrick here.
It is a bad thing because I'm telling you one thing. I'm good at a couple things, and burning gas is one of them. I'm telling you, I can do it. Like, I'm good at covering water. And sometimes these are not Florida strain bass. They're not. But they act like Florida strain a lot of times.
100%.
They
just
do.
like Florida Lake.
I always thought they were Florida strain my entire life. They're not. And so typically it's like if we go to Lake Murray, I'm going to catch them. Those fish you can turn and burn, and it works out up there. A lot of fish up there. Santee Cooper, it's got bigger fish, and they're kind of like, I'm not going to say residents because they do come and go, but you kind of got to find them that day, and then you hunker
down.
And you hunker down.
Settle in.
You do. And I'm not a settle-down kind of guy on that stuff. It gets me.
I'm not saying these are Florida bass, but I will tell you this is the natural range of the Florida bass. This part of South Carolina does have some pure Floridas.
Okay.
And they're naturally here. It's
Hey,
not,
in Florida we don't have South Carolina bass?
that's so true.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so true.
Got to take my damn bass.
Well, and you're not from here, but you fished here a lot. And you're from that North Florida, South Georgia area, currently living in Cairo. How do you like it that I pronounce Cairo correctly?
Yeah, I like it.
The syrup makers.
This will be my fourth tournament here. Fourth time I've ever been here.
This is great ice cream.
It is good ice cream.
Yeah, we're here at Carolina Sweet Shop in Manning. And Greg Opie is the proprietor of this fabulous place. I think he's only got 48 flavors, though.
Casually,
great guy.
only 48.
Did you see the picture he showed me just a second ago?
I've seen pictures of snook. I've seen pictures of bass. I've seen pictures of peacocks.
I didn't know that guy from Adam, and he showed me a picture of me and him
Are you serious? It was you?
Yeah, with a trophy whenever in 2022
No way.
here.
I didn't
Yeah.
know what the photo was. I thought it was a big bass. I thought you were getting info. Almost had to call Brad.
All right, cool.
Go.
Now let's go back to that again because you do have so much experience here, Patrick. Is it a problem when you launch on day one and you realize you've got 500 spots out here you can go to?
Sometimes. It is if my mind lets it run. Mainly if I just settle in, it's a great thing because if you get on a bite and you know the areas to go from there, but a lot of times if the bite's tough or it's slow or you didn't start off how you want to, that when you get the wheels turning, that's when it can be because you're like, well,
When that gorilla gets on your back.
yeah, I know 100 different spots. I just got to go check them. I got a one cast stuff. It's like so you start running that stuff, and then it just doesn't work out.
So how hard is it to keep your head in the game in the spot you're in and not try to think a step or a move ahead? And instead of throwing this bait here, you're thinking, oh, I wish I was throwing
For me,
a bladed jig
really hard.
over here.
Really hard.
Drew, what about you? Are you able to dial in?
He knows where he's going. He knows what he's going to
It
do.
ain't hard for me.
How many places, when you launch on day one of this event, how many places are you going to have in mind to fish and to really devote some time?
About 5.
I'm going to say 2. 2 general areas.
2 general areas.
Thank you. I was about to say maybe 5 spots, but 2 general areas. And when he means 5 spots, the other spot's like 150 yards over there. Like it's not far.
So you're not a run and gun guy?
He is, but
Not here.
not here.
Not here? Okay. How many rods on the deck on day one?
More than normal.
What's normal?
Normal here would be like 5.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty dialed
And-
in.
2 of them are duplicates of 2. So 4 of them are the exact same thing and
Whoa.
1 spinny pole. But this week we're gonna have a couple different options.
Yeah.
Spinning rod, what is it, a wacky worm? What are we talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta have a wacky worm.
It's Santee
on
Cooper.
Santee.
Yeah, it's
Something to skip under cypress trees and stuff like that?
Yep.
Okay. Patrick, how many rods on the deck for you day one?
53.
no. I'm going to go with probably 16.
16.
Yeah, probably 8 and 8.
Okay.
Why not?
8 and 8, 8 spinning, 8 casting?
Oh God, no.
8 on
Probably
each
2
side.
2 casting.
Okay.
Only 2 spinning. That sounded aggressive. 2. Okay. My apologies. No.
They could take your man card away from you. in Florida.
14 spinning rods.
He's
would
been
be,
practicing the Demiki rig without
Yeah.
live scope.
No, I have not.
He's gonna aimlessly whim around out there in the middle of the lake.
Only 2 spinning rods.
All right.
Both with wacky rig.
100%. Yeah.
All right.
So when you
Okay.
break the one off, you have that.
Then I have another one.
Yeah.
That's real because I'm too impatient to
Yeah.
retie.
They'll be identical, same size line, same everything, those 2 spinning rods?
Yep.
Okay. Give me 1 or 2 bait types that you think are going to be huge players here and probably
Moving?
factor into the win.
And pitching.
Okay, so moving. So we're talking bladed jigs, spinner baits. What are we talking?
Alabama rigs, all that.
Lipless, deep diving
I'm
crankbaits.
just kidding on the Alabama rigs. We can't throw an Alabama rig.
You can throw an Alabama rig with 1 hook in it.
Yeah,
Glide baits.
yeah.
Glide baits are going to play
Yep.
this week.
A glide bait, a lipless, shallow diving crankbait, and I would say maybe even a
I threw a deep diver. I threw a deep
medium
diver today.
diving crankbait. Like that 6-10 foot, something like that.
Actually, yeah.
A lot of jigs, whether they have blades on them, they're swimming versions or pitching versions.
Okay. All right. Now, this sounds like a stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway because that's what I do.
I give stupid answers.
Perfect.
So this is going to match.
Then I'm starting with you.
Okay.
What needs to happen weather-wise, conditions-wise, over the next few days for Patrick Walters to win?
It get freezing cold.
I don't know.
So you want to be tough?
No, I don't know.
You don't care.
I don't care. I wouldn't mind it to warm up a little bit. I know. So we all catch him. I mean, he would catch him. Phenomenal. And the thing is, we're kind of competing. For mainly it's the side of the lake. I hate his side. And he doesn't fish my side. So I kind of want to beat him on my side. But my side I haven't been fishing that good. So I just need my side to cooperate.
He's going to poach my side a little bit.
I got to.
This week.
Because I got to.
That's where they are?
Sometimes, yep. This week. Actually, that's where they've been.
So you don't care what
Couple
they
months.
do. You got a plan. No matter what the weather does, you got a plan.
Just going to go fishing.
All right.
Every day.
What do the conditions need to do for Drew Cook to win this tournament?
Oh, if it would be like 70-something
90
tomorrow,
degrees.
sunny, and then 70-something again the next day.
No wind.
You want to move up.
Absolutely.
Are most of the fish you guys are targeting now? Are they staging? Or are they?
They're sitting on G, waiting on O.
Yeah. But it's kind of.
But there's some up there, and they're like,
and they're kind of in limbo.
What do we do?
It's a very weird stage.
It's a very tough spot.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead. I'm going to get to some other good stuff later, but I'm jumping around now. What's it going to take to win? Drew, what do you think? If I could right now hand you, if I had Brad Fuller's power, which is what I dream of actually, if I had Brad Fuller's power and I could award you 75 pounds today, would you take it and sleep in? Or do you think it might take more than that?
For a 2-day tournament, yeah, I'll take it.
Well, not a 2-day tournament. This is a 3-day derby. Last time I checked.
That'd be Greg.
75 pounds. Take it, sleep in, or are you going to go out there and try to do better than that?
I'd take my chances. I would take the 75 and win because it wouldn't be like that.
That's not taking your chances, though. You said both things.
No, I would take my chance. I would take my chances on the 75 winning.
Okay, you're gonna take the 75
So you would take
pounds,
the 75 pounds.
Yes.
That's not taking your chances.
sleep in.
That means you
That's
would
100%
take
taking my chances.
No, taking your chances would be you would go against taking the 75. That's a guarantee. That's not taking any chances.
We're fighting over terminology now.
100%. That's what we do 24/7.
It wouldn't happen like that though. It'd be like a 32 or a 30, a 19 and then a 26 or something like that.
Whatever it adds up.
Yeah, however it all shakes out.
Okay, so you're taking 75 pounds, sleep in.
Yeah. With with the weather,
Yeah,
I am.
I'd probably take 75 as well, just because it's like that's pretty
catching
good.
them.
That's catching them. Like you did pretty good.
So, since you guys seem to be on the fence about that, you wouldn't take 70, is what I'm hearing.
Probably wouldn't take.
Yeah, it's now you got to fish for it a little bit there.
Okay.
I'd take my chances, meaning I would go fishing. That's chances.
I like it.
Brad's got a question.
Yes. Got a statement from Brad Fuller.
Regardless of what happens, we're fishing
3 days.
hell yeah.
3-day dirt.
There you go.
I like
Here we go.
that.
Here we go. I like
So
it.
that's
what
the
we
word.
pay here. That's what we're paid to play.
You know,
3 days.
I've been listening to. I've been hanging on every word
That's
Brad Fuller
exactly
says.
what I want. Because I practiced for a 3-day tournament. I didn't practice for a 2-day tournament. And everything that goes into a 3-day tournament.
He's only got 2 spots. Like, I mean, come on now. He practiced for 3 days, but he's got 2 spots.
But I'm just saying, as Mr. Duke will tell you, I appreciate the hell out of day 3s.
Oh my God! Yes.
Here we go.
Let's
Here we
get
go.
into that. Here we go.
Here we go.
Because guys, I like the numbers. I think the numbers tell a story. And one of the things I learned last year tracking all the tournaments was that no one on day 3 is better than Drew Cook.
Maybe Jacob Wheeler.
I checked the field.
I hadn't fished against him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. We don't know that. It's going to be hard to be better than Drew Cook because Drew Cook is more than twice as good as the average angler in the field on day 3.
That's pretty dang good.
All right.
That is actually pretty good.
It's really good. Now, last year we discovered, Patrick, that day 1 is your weekday. That's your weakest day.
Which is normally mine. You gave me. We switched. Normally day 1 I can't catch a cold.
But last year you started catching them, or no?
He did great last year on day 1. He was the second
I just gave
best
it to
guy.
you.
On
day 1.
Stop talking to me then.
I'm not going to make this embarrassing for you, but last year,
I
all
will.
3 days, he posted better numbers than you
Every day.
every day.
That's why he almost
Every day.
won AOY.
He almost won a day. You know what?
But
Here's
as Little
what-
Finn said, go Kyle Welcher.
Don't tell him.
You know, Little Finn loves him some Kyle Welcher. I mean,
My 3-year-old son is Kyle Welcher's biggest
fan. He is. I'm surprised he doesn't have a jersey, to be
Yeah.
honest. I'm actually going to go talk to Kyle after we get done with this and get him to ship Little Finn a jersey signed by his biggest fan.
Here's kind of the bad news for Drew last year. And Drew knows this. He's heard me say it before, but he finished 8 spots behind Kyle Welcher in the first tournament of the year. Do you know how much he lost AOY by?
6 points.
8 points.
Oh, wow.
Do you know how many fish he weighed in on day 1 of the first tournament?
4.
You're correct, sir. You're correct. Probably, I mean, that turned out to be the difference between you and winning AOY last year.
Yeah.
Is that something that bugs you or pisses you off at all?
Well, he forgot about it. He actually went to therapy.
That's why I'm
about
here.
this because he was.
I brought it up.
He was pretty adamant about it. I mean, that was a dark part in his life, Ken. And you just brought it back up. Like we don't know how.
That was like a month ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
We don't know how the next couple hours are going to be with him now.
It's not going to be good. It's going to be a meltdown.
I've never seen him outdone, actually. He's actually pretty.
Walters is paying me to bring up these topics. He's trying to take you out of the game.
It's good.
Got him.
But Drew's never liked me from day one.
Y'all did have beef.
He never liked me.
Y'all did have beef.
Not me, but he had beef against me that I didn't know about for years. Did we tell that story already?
We did.
Okay.
On live we did?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. The
first time I ever did it.
Called him out.
Right out of the gate.
It was new to me. That was news to me.
We're going to settle this before we discuss.
Because I've always been a fan of him since I got to know him, which is really the first time I got to spend a little bit of time on a boat with him.
Yeah,
I became a fan immediately at a writers' conference on the Mississippi.
Okay.
And I had no idea. He didn't tell me then.
He had.
Was it
Mr. Stat?
Pre or post that?
It was the night before.
Oh. So you were probably teed up.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I saw that guy's name on my sheet, I was like,
here we go.
That guy.
All right. We got to back up and tell that story a little bit now. But go ahead.
Before you do,
yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Tennessee wants to know what's your glasses and lens of choice.
So, actually, these are a brand new lens from Leupold that I only have one set of. I think there's only 7 of them altogether. Cox forgot where he put his, so he doesn't have his.
That's the most John thing about it.
These are. I normally do amber lenses, or copper, but these are going to be really good for low light, especially. But I change my lenses all throughout the day. I go back and forth because it keeps your eyes refocusing. I don't ever hardly see anybody else do that. But you'll start missing stuff if you're looking through the same thing all day.
Are you looking at any fish this week?
Absolutely.
Really?
It's March in South Carolina and Santee.
Fish will be seen.
All right.
I will snatch some off sandy spots.
Excellent. I like hearing that.
Legally
That's very cool.
in the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I'll catch them off sandy spots.
There we go.
Of course.
Nowadays, we just don't know.
That's true.
Both of you guys are really good at catching bigger than average fish. You're both excellent. Do you know who was the best last year at catching, who caught the biggest average fish last year?
Kyle Watcher.
Nope.
Trent Palmer.
Nope.
Patrick.
Nope.
Me?
Yes.
Ha.
Good job.
I got all these accolades and not even the one that mattered.
Oh, God. Did you even win last year? No. Dang, dude.
You ruined that, too.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
In NPFL history, do you know who catches the average biggest bass?
Patrick.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you
I
guys
feel
got-
like Brandon Perkins got to be up there somewhere.
Yeah,
too.
Perkins is no doubt close. Did what was I last year? Did I take a dive last
Oh, yeah. No, you didn't take a dive. It's just he happened to be number 1 last year, but you have been the best in 2 different years. You've been fishing NPFL. This is number 4.
Yep.
Twice you led the league outright.
Okay.
Your first 2 years. Then last year you were down a little bit, but not down. You're fantastic.
It was down.
Killed
Last year was down year. I will say last year wasn't off. 100% though.
Yeah.
It was just too much of this.
But you know what's bad about Patrick, though? Day one
you
at
told me
Pickwick.
there's a lot of things
we
bad about
we
him.
talked about this the other night. Day one at Pickwick, with like maybe 40 minutes to go, we run across each other, and he's like, I asked him, what you got? He said, I got 18 pounds. I'm like, Patrick, what you got? 18 Patrick pounds is like 24, 25 pounds most of the
what I
time.
hear.
And he's
Yeah,
like, no, I
that's what I
legit have 18 pounds. So what you got? I got like 22. And he thought that I was like being a Patrick 22.
I was like, that's 26. I was like,
But it
God.
fired him up so much, he went and culled twice and had 20-something pounds and then
Roll Tide.
beat me.
Roll Tide. What the hell? What's that about?
It's just like, it's a safe way to say hell yeah. But I mean, so you did it. So I was like, I guess I could have just said hell yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, don't say Roll Tide.
You
I went to
don't,
Georgia.
you're not, oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to say go dogs. Because
Oh, but man, Roll Tide. That's just casting an ugly pall in the whole proceedings, isn't it?
I feel like it was a joke.
No offense to
begin
Alabama
with.
fans.
they took offense.
At least they're in the SEC.
They took offense. They did. It's okay.
I can-
It's because it's just college football. It's just some people's entire
Half
life.
my family's from Alabama.
At least you're not an Ohio State fan. Good.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have some integrity. I have some. I have some self-respect. I'm not going to be an Ohio State fan. The Ohio State University. I'm getting kind of an ugly scowl from Brad Fuller on that
Yeah,
one.
by saying. Brad didn't even look up. I literally said that to get him to look up. He was like, he didn't even.
The national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. I gotta give him some credit.
Had a
for
good
that.
season.
They had a magnificent season. All right, guys. Let's talk a little bit about one of the techniques that you guys think is really going to play this week, and maybe your technique that you feel like is your go-to, your bedrock, the one where you think, hey, ain't nobody in the field can beat me if this technique is a player. Drew, let's start with you.
The technique?
Yeah, give me a technique.
Sight fishing.
Sight fishing?
Absolutely.
All right, we already got your lenses. What is it that the average, but a guy who really loves the sport, what is it an average bass angler screws up when he's trying to sight fish?
He tries to get too close. He tries to see him, honestly, or watch him eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can see
Isn't
him.
that what sight fishing is all about? You got to see him where it's not sight fishing?
but a lot of people like
Head
want
fishing.
to be like right there. You know?
Okay, they get on top of it.
Yeah, get way too close. And I mean, honestly, I like
You don't have to grab that.
I like to see them, and the best case scenario is you remember where they are, make a long cast, and I mean that's how you make the day go quick.
Okay, so find him and then find a way to put enough distance between you and the fish that you know where he is.
Yeah, but
he doesn't think you're there. She doesn't think you're there.
That's not really. Most of the time, it's like getting personal with a bass. Which,
I make it way too
which
personal.
I did. I literally did that 3 days ago on Okeechobee. I got so personal with a bass that I was like, I'm not leaving until it's time to go.
It was a casual 13, though.
It was a 13 pounder.
9 inches.
It was a giant. But
That was the
What?
I've done a lot of interviews in this. I've done a lot of interviews in this sport, including interviews of you guys. And one of the best I ever did was with a guy named Jason Christie, who will be competing against you guys when this tournament starts.
E or Y?
What's that?
Was it with an E or a Y?
Oh, it was with an E.
Okay.
With an
I
E.
just had to check.
The real Jason Christie.
yeah, not Super Christie.
Not any other Jason Christie. Anyway, I was asking him a question that a lot of people want to know about when you're sight fishing. I said, when do you know it? When is it time to give up on a fish? And he gave me one of the best answers in any interview. He said, when it gets personal.
Yep.
So you violated that rule. You let it get personal?
I violated that rule, but for a couple of good reasons. That bass was worth $10,000 alone, and it was bigger than the limit that I weighed in the day before
I hear you. 13. Where was this?
on Lake Okeechobee.
Okay.
Where was this? And I'm just kidding. Ken wanted the dot.
One of the biggest bass that I've seen on bed.
That's a big bass.
I've caught a 1484 off the bed.
Wow.
And it was built different than that. But I caught an 1160 2 weeks before we went down there, and it was substantially larger than that one.
Yeah, people don't realize. They think, oh, it's Florida. There must be a lot of giant fish like that. But Okeechobee does not produce
No.
13-pound bass.
Many 8-pounders.
Yeah.
But, yes.
But not very many 10s. And I mean, a 13-pounder in Okeechobee is almost certainly going to be the biggest fish of the decade.
I think there's a lot more bigger ones now. Because, like, if you look at the tournament report, they're
catching
10 plus
big
pound
bass.
big bass
They're catching
in the
bass.
tournaments. But it was a 30-inch long fish at least, and it was a big one. It was
Do you know
worth
how long
it was
30
worth the
inches
time.
is? 30 inches is
No.
That's what I told her. I just said that is a long bass.
It was a big one.
That's the world record was 32 and a half, so 30's big.
It might have been a 28-incher. Damn.
We're
give me a
going
break.
to deduct some inches. Ken had
was-
the world record.
It was a 17-inch
inches.
bass. and
Yeah.
It was.
No,
It
she
was
She
giant.
was 26 to 27, I bet.
It was giant.
I believe it. If you say it was a 30-inch bass, I believe you. If you say it's 13 pounds, I'm in.
It was. I told my camera guy that it's a giant. I don't want to mess up and call it something else, but it's over a 10-pounder. I said if this male is a 12-incher, it's a 10-pounder. If the male is a anything bigger than that, she's bigger. And I caught the male, and he was 2.5 pounds, and I was like, this is an absolute unit. And I caught the 2.5-pound male. I culled out a 120.
You put the male in the
Put the male in the box. She did one little whoop-de-doop, and I was like, that's weird. Went back, threw him back, and spent another 2.5 hours on her, and left out of there with 2 minutes to spare with 4 bass, pulled into an area, made one cast, caught a 12-incher. I never put the trolling motor down, ran back in the weigh-in, waited a limit. Like, it worked out. Ish.
That has worked out. Okay, now, so guys try to get too close to their sight fish. Any bait tips? Or
Yeah, don't use a white bait.
Okay. Because it looks unnatural or what?
Yeah, it's going to take you twice as long to catch one on a white bait.
Really? Okay.
Use something natural. They just want to see.
Statistically,
They want to
twice as
see.
long.
They want to see their bait. But
Yeah.
if you just watch the fish, you can tell where the bait's at.
Old blind guy like me, I need something that's got some neon lights.
When
on
it starts
or something.
swimming off, that's when they got it.
Good advice. Good advice. All right, Patrick Walters, what's your bedrock technique, man? Where do you think? I know you can do it all. Both of you guys can do it all.
Wacky worm.
Wacky worm.
Yep. I want a spinning pole.
Okay, most people get their spinning rod out. Maybe they can skip it under a dock pretty good, or something like that, or under a cypress tree. What are you doing special with the wacky worm that's different than what the average guy does?
Throwing it all day, putting it where it doesn't need to go, and then having confidence in it. 100%.
And praying to God when a big one bites it.
Yeah, you better send it to it.
All right, what are we talking gear-wise? What's your line choice?
6 pound braid, 10 pound to 12 pound
braid.
leader.
Okay, all right.
But it's
How
6
long is
pound
the leader?
suffix 832, and 6 pound suffix 832 is like 15 pound everybody
10,
else.
12
So yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
All right. Now you like the 6 because it's more
casts
supple.
good.
It casts further.
It casts good. I mean, I can skip it. I can knock the butthole out of a spider up under a dock, 20 steps away. I mean, it's like that sucker gets gone. I mean, it's
What's your fluorocarbon leader? What are you using?
Suffix Advanced Fluorocarbon.
Suffix Advanced Fluorocarbon.
10 to 12 pound line.
10 to 12. Okay, that's pretty stout.
It's just
Pretty stout. How about the rod?
just a 7-1 medium to medium heavy action rod.
Gotcha. Anything special about the reel?
I use a 4,000 size spinning reel.
Whoa.
Holds more line.
But he does that on most of his spinning
All
poles.
my spinning reels are 4,000s. Bigger reel, I mean, I got bigger hands, but it's less line twist. You got big hands, Ken. I'm actually surprised.
What does that mean?
I mean, you don't look like a big dude, Ken. I'm not going to lie. Didn't picture you with big hands, Ken.
That's not all.
But less line twist, because it's got a bigger spool, and
Right.
it brings more line
Per turn.
per turn. I'm reeling it in.
I'm going to try to forgive you about the big hands thing.
It's all good.
Okay.
We all got beef.
So, but a 4,000 on a 7-1 medium or medium heavy rod?
4,000 on every size spinning reel rod out
Okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Once the bait hits the water, are you doing anything special? I mean, you're just letting it
I'm
fall.
usually reeling it in, but I try to let it sink. If I can let it sink for 10 seconds, I'm going to catch him that day. Just mainly just let it do its thing. And then I'll twitch it twice, give it 2 seconds, and I'll just reel it in and make another cast.
Okay.
But usually when I'm
99% of the time they eat it before you.
Yeah, you engage the reel,
Yeah,
engage
they
the
already
bail,
have
and it's
it.
like you pick it up, and it's like, you just, there
I
he
like
is.
this. I just got a great tip on how guys are going to quite often catch their personal best by first spotting the fish and then going after it, and how the guys can probably catch more fish than any other technique out there, and got to be the best technique to teach somebody
I've got a
who's never caught one.
lot of big bass on this.
Oh, yeah,
one.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't, because you're going to put that bait in some places you can't hardly get another bait. And also,
And it's going to bite it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like-
nothing looks more helpless.
If you shook one off on a jig or had one roll in your spinner bait on a tree here, the first thing you throw when day of the tournament
Alabama
is a
rig.
wacky rig.
Yeah. And he's not going to
Because he's going to bite it if he's there.
What's your favorite worm for that?
Zoom fluke stick.
Zoom fluke stick.
Yep.
Okay.
Bite the tail off.
All right. Now, that's an awfully soft bait. Are you going straight through the bait, or how are you rigging that?
I go straight to the bait. I used to use bands, but I go straight to the bait now.
All right. So you go through a lot of baits.
He's
that way.
sponsored now.
Yeah, I'm sponsored now, so I have the luxury of going through a lot of baits. But
hear ya.
straight to the
I hear
bait,
ya.
and you do go through decent, but it's not that bad. I mean, you can actually throw it longer than you think. It's pretty durable.
Okay. What was the one that Zoom came out with?
Zlinky.
The Zlinky.
That one
thing's
tears
soft.
up too much.
Yeah,
that one
oh,
was.
man.
Yeah, that's like forecaster.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Zoom products. They make wonderful stuff, but that one you can go through some.
That one's yes. You would be going through a lot.
Yeah, we're out a lot of baits for that. That's all right. Now, so obviously you're rigged up, ready to do that. Obviously you're rigged up for.
We are not
some big
rigged.
fish.
Yeah, ain't
We are
rigged.
not
No.
rigged at all. So
All right.
we can't
There's
even.
still
we can't
so
even,
much braid in my
Yes.
boat in Florida.
It was pretty rough today. We were on the way. I just cut 4 lines. Like they were all taken. I was like, I'm just going to take scissors to these, just so we could like.
24
Make it
hours
back.
from now, you're going to be rigged up.
That's correct.
24 hours. you'll be
Now
all
we're.
set.
Yep.
What's the ritual for getting ready? What time do you like to have it all nailed down and the rod's back in the box or strapped
8
down to the
p.m.
deck?
9 p.m.
8 p.m., 9 p.m.? Okay.
Tomorrow, the next day,
How much sleep do you try to get on a tournament night?
as much as you can.
Yeah.
How much is that?
6 hours average, probably, if you're lucky.
Yeah. We need more this week, though. We've been going pretty hard.
Yeah, this is 3 weeks in a row now.
Uh,
And you guys travel together a lot, right?
No.
No?
If anybody's watched, no, he does not travel with me on the Elite Series.
Yeah.
He won't travel with me. I don't know why. But on the NPFL, he now does travel with me. Or we travel together, I should say.
Since you guys are good friends and enjoy each other's company and visiting and talking and chatting and talking trash, does that make it harder or easier to get rest? Does that make it harder or easier generally?
Our love for drinking beer is the reason why it's harder to get rest.
Did you say dressed or rest?
Rest.
Trust.
But
Gotta check.
It's a good time. We're going to go to bed a little bit earlier this week than we normally would on an NPFL, no doubt.
I'm probably going to sleep on the way home. I mean, it's 3 weeks on the road. It'll wear you out.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, those are long days. Are you guys just maniacal about spending as much time on the water in practice as you can? Are you daylight to dark guys? Or
Absolutely
what?
not.
No?
You gotta fish to your level. If you are absolutely dead dog tired, get rest. I'm telling you, you mentally have to be in the game 24/7. So when you're on the water, if you're already out of it mentally, you're wasting your time. You'd be better off sleeping in, getting some rest, looking at the weather, making a game plan. That's the thing. You got to be mentally, when you're on the water, you got to be mentally there. So everybody may be going daylight to dark. Don't let that bother you. You still have to. Everybody's going to find the fish. So it's just fish to your strengths. Fish to what you're comfortable with. Okay. I'm not a daylight to dark guy.
I have to fish more than Patrick does.
Why?
In practice.
Why?
I'm not as good as him.
That's not true.
It is true.
Last year you were. On the NPFL.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that. There's an excellent argument. This guy is the best in NPFL history right here. Excellent argument. You've only been doing it 1 year with the NPFL, but you put together a hell of a resume in that 1 year.
Yeah, but he made his money. He was kind of just on easy street for more than half the year. He didn't care.
I mean, here's some of his accolades. He's the all-time leading money winner in NPFL history, almost $500,000. He's got 4 NPFL wins, including Santee Cooper here just a couple of years ago. A couple of second-place finishes. He's got 9 top 5 finishes. That's the record. 11 top 10s. That's the record. He averages the heaviest fish in NPFL
Not
history.
too shabby.
No, and he's got 7 daily heavyweight bags. Now you've got 3 daily heavyweight bags in just 1 season.
1 year, dog.
Making a comeback.
This is a dangerous man.
So you're saying there's a chance?
He's
I'm
lethal.
saying there's better than a chance. I'm saying you're doing
He's
great.
slightly poisonous. He is lethal.
His worst finish ever in NPFL history is 15th place. That's the worst he's ever done.
Not too bad. Where was that at?
Logan Martin.
Oh, yeah, you did bomb there. The first day.
And the second day.
Not hardly a bomb, but, it was just enough. Just enough to open the door for Kyle Walter.
Yeah.
Just enough.
But I should have made it up somewhere else. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen.
Yeah, very true. If it's your time, it's your time.
Let's talk about that. I mean, I don't look at you guys as fatalists. I don't think you guys are.
Sometimes you can't compete with it. If you know what I'm saying. Like you.
When that train's on the track, you just get it out of the way sometimes. Like it's going.
Is that really your belief, or is that just a nice safety valve to not let it haunt you?
No,
everything haunts me.
Sometimes, man, the only thing that can screw up a good thing is you.
Amen.
He's not wrong.
Amen. I used to work for BASS, and every year in the Classic, Aaron Martins was in the Classic, and he was one of the all-time greats, obviously. And I'd walk up to Aaron's boat on media day, and I'd say, "Who's the only guy who can beat you?" And he would smile, and he would say, "Me."
He is not wrong.
He is not wrong
at all.
But the same is true of you, and the same is true
100%.
of you.
My biggest enemy, I can promise you, is myself. I will talk myself out of catching bass.
All right.
And I will talk myself into catching bass. So it's I don't know. I like to burn gas and I like to cover water, and that is such a good thing and such a bad thing. It is. You can fish out of them very quickly.
If you could change one bad habit or tendency about your fishing, what would it be?
Not a thing.
You just told me
I do.
You run too much, or you're.
But you can make 1,000
yourself
wishes,
out.
but every time you do that, something bad happens. I'm A-okay where I'm at right now. I'm doing okay. Family's happy. We're all good.
Drew, what about you? If you could change one thing about your fishing, what would it be?
I mean, I could do it better.
How do you do it better?
I don't know. All around, catch more bass.
Is
Bigger
there
ones.
a weak part of your game? I mean, are you not a great deep crankbait guy or not a great something guy?
I wouldn't say there's one technique he's not good at.
I'm kind of a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's not one thing I've seen him where it's like,
Which I mean, you kind of got to be.
nowadays,
you got to be.
That used to be back in the day.
Like,
That's
nobody
such
comes
a,
up here just flipping a jig anymore.
Yeah, I was about to
nobody
say,
just didn't raw.
yeah.
Like making a living.
We're
with a
not
black and
just
blue
throwing
jig.
deep crankbaits regardless.
Right.
It's that time has. If you
you.
fish for a living nowadays and you consistently catch jigs, there's not one thing he's got dice. I mean, he's got everything. I mean, it's like there's not one thing he hasn't
He's
done.
got dice.
He's got dice.
That's the
They're in his pocket.
stupidest looking
Dude, you have dice.
I
in your
got
pocket.
a pile of them.
It's a stupid ad you get. I'm just kidding.
So wardrobe.
Nobody's seen
Wardrobe
that
would be
video.
something you'd work on.
Sure.
Wardrobe.
It.
You said he had a stupid hat.
Oh no, it's a video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You'd have to see it.
All right. So, but is there a technique you think to yourself, well, if this technique is going to win the tournament, maybe it's deep cranking, maybe it's jigging a spoon. I
Fishing a
don't know.
boat ramp, probably.
Where
Nobody
you
likes
say to
doing
yourself, hey, I'm just going to try to hang in there and get a top and get a check because I don't feel like I have a chance to win necessarily with this technique. Is there a technique like that for either of you guys?
Unless there's something I don't know of.
Yeah,
yet.
but I couldn't think of it.
Is there a technique that you will not use? And by way of example, I was asking a pro one time years ago, I said, is there a technique you will not use? He said, I do not have the components to put together a Carolina rig. I will not throw
Well,
the
whoever
ball.
that guy was does not catch bass.
So
I'd say
in the
long
same
line.
in the same breath, I do not like throwing a Carolina rig in a tournament
Okay.
because the sheer fact of killing them.
Weigh him in
Just-
dead, baby.
I'm just saying.
Weigh him in dead. Put
Talking about-
that
talking
baby in
about
the
being
cooler.
hook deep and all?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you get that problem with a wacky rig.
You're not wrong.
But yeah, my wacky rig hooks
Cut the hook,
little
no.
bitty.
Cut-
just
Cut the line.
oh yeah, but he's got it in his crushers and comes up, jumped the first time. There was just blood gushing out of the side. Like that one's probably gonna be
A
golden.
6-pounder, those
Golden.
are 6
I mean,
pounders.
I'm all about weighing bass in, but I don't know. I feel like the ones that bite a Carolina rig will bite my big Texas rig or a jig dragging it
Not true.
until certain times. I have a Carolina rig rigged up 365 days a year. It stays in my boat, rigged up.
It's rigged up
It's
in your
rigged up,
locker?
ready to roll right now.
And the guy who you say, the guy doesn't know how to catch bass, he's won 2 Bassmaster AOY titles.
Recently?
Not recently.
All right, then. We'll take that argument later. I mean,
Fair enough. Fair
he
enough.
did catch bass, probably. I don't know who it is. I'm back then.
I'll tell you later.
Nowadays,
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you
Need
when
a
you're
Carolina
older.
rig.
I'll tell you when you're older. How about that?
I
Since
will
you're
be
making
old.
fun of old guys.
I'm not making fun of anybody.
You'll be older in 10 minutes, and I'll tell you. All right, so how about you? Is there a technique that's pretty much you're not going to
Long lining.
long line? Okay.
I'm too impatient to send a crankbait out there and drag it.
We don't have to long line on the NPFL. We can troll.
Control.
Yeah, I know, but that's also like, oh, why would I do that? Like, I don't know. I'm too impatient for that.
All right.
Can we still troll?
Oh,
Yep. No, but can we still troll?
Question from the panel.
How was your first full official practice without forward facing sonar?
For anybody who didn't hear the question from Brad here, it's coming off
Good
the,
job,
the
Ken.
chat. How was your first official day of practice here at Santee Cooper, knowing you can't use the forward-facing stuff?
I can tell you one thing. My trolling motor tracked my bait coming in a lot that first day. I was looking at that bait, but my trolling motor was not looking at the bait. It was like, and I was like, oh, there's nothing there. Like, I mean, it's just habit. The biggest thing that it's going to – I feel like I'm okay at finding fish.
I would
And
say
I
better
actually
than that,
don't
yeah.
need to catch the fish in practice to know
understand
that-
what it is.
to understand what's there, what's going on with scope. But now I actually got to
gotta-
go.
you
I
gotta
got to
pluck
go over there
one.
and catch them.
You gotta
and that
pluck one.
actually kind of makes me upset because I don't like showing people what I'm doing. I'm a sneaky guy. I don't want to fish around people. I don't want people to even know I'm there. I don't want people to know what I'm looking at. And so with scope, I could throw a bait out there and I could get their attention and I could see how big the group was. I could see how big the fish were.
Yeah.
And now I got to go there and I got to identify them. And I seen that this week. I seen a guy, I called fish on the spot and he went and stayed there for like 3 hours. Kind of fired me up a little bit. That kind of upsets me. That's the biggest thing I have is you can't sneak around as much. You got to go identify. And when I mean identify, you're identifying it with a hook.
Yeah.
I gotta catch the bass and I gotta look at it. I mean, so it goes back to the old school thing, and that's the biggest thing is just that for practicing. That was my only thing that I was like, man, that's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. And that's also the home pond too, a little bit. And it's just I try not to fish the stuff that you want to fish, and then it's like, well, you got to get confidence in something. So,
how about you, Drew? First day, no forward facing.
So I mean, I've never really used it here before ever anyway.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
Fishing a lot, like in the drains and ditches and stuff like that. I wanted to see where the it went from 2 foot to 2.5 foot.
Yeah.
And you can't. We have 360 obviously, but this is literally the first time I've used 360 a lot.
I can't tell you how much I used 2D this week. I was like, what is under my boat?
How deep what the depth change is on 360, unless it's abrupt. And there's a lot of little knick-knack things. I definitely was trying to look a little bit because it's force of habit now.
Yeah, yeah. Your eyes are trained to.
My boat goes faster. I took my graph off. I gained like 2 miles an hour. My boat was hauling. I was like, dang. Take a 16-inch graph off the front of your boat and see what happens.
Is it easier to lift the trolling motor up now, too, and all that?
I left the deucer on there, unplugged it and everything. Gotcha. So what it is we can't use our forward-facing sonar.
Right.
And so I still fish the Elite Series, the Bass Pro Elite Series, and we're allowed to use it there. So it's like I didn't want to have to rerun everything. So I left the deucer on there and just took the graph off the boat.
Gotcha.
That way it's not on there. And a 16-inch graph is a wind sail.
And you can see where you're going now, too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're not going to hit any obstacles, hopefully. Knock on wood.
That's a great question. Love the questions from the chat. If y'all got them, I got two of the best anglers in the world here. I'm awfully fortunate here to be at Carolina Sweet Shop in Manning, South Carolina with Drew Cook, Patrick Walters. We're about to go to a place that both these guys have had a world of success on, Santee Cooper. Stop number 1 with Strike King. Okay, guys. A lot of records in jeopardy, I think, here. One is
biggest bag.
The biggest bag, which is
what is the biggest bag?
30 pounds even.
Yep.
Day 2 here last time when you won.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna get broken.
Now it's gonna get broken.
Going down?
Yep.
Yeah. I'd
Okay.
say so.
Big bass, 10 pounds 9 ounces from the championship last year at Amistad.
That's a.
I think we see it. I think we see a 10.
See a 10, maybe not 10.
10-9. 10-9's a big bass. Golly, that's over 10.5. That's
unless that 13-pounder gets on bed and talk off. I'll snatch her off.
Kimmy said he found one that was that big in there. So we'll see.
And another one that's in jeopardy is going to be the heaviest 3-day weight, which was 71.5 from Amistad last year.
I see that going down.
Yep,
going down.
I don't think.
I see that going down.
I don't think that one's gonna make it.
All right.
They're out there.
They're out there.
Going to bite.
And you guys are expected to catch them. I mean, if you guys don't catch them, I'm looking stupid for having you on the show.
And there's
don't
enough.
Let me down.
There's enough pre-spawners out there that
I don't want to make you look stupid, but I'm good at a couple things, and I can make anybody look stupid. So don't put that on me, Ricky
including
Bobby.
Patrick.
Yeah, I can make.
He is really good at making himself look stupid.
He is not wrong.
I do not need your help to look stupid. I'm gifted in that way.
You and me both.
Okay, let's talk about you guys.
You got a longer
obviously
stat
have-
card than me, son. Look at there.
Wow.
Look at them stats. That's almost, is it on the back? Is it on the back?
No, I don't have it on
Oh, okay. That would have been pretty impressive.
See, I'm relying on my memory for some of the stuff, which is failing.
Most of your stuff you memorize because that's how much it's happened.
You guys both have impressive resumes. I got a lot of notes for both you guys. There's a lot of guys in the field here who I would not have nearly so many.
Does
notes
Patrick
on.
have a Rookie of the Year?
He brought it up. I didn't. Dang, we went there, didn't we?
I always mess with him because he's going to have every accolade in bass fishing.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out you did not repeat as Rookie of the Year. So that's kind of a...
It's impossible. But he'll never have that. That's the one.
Not according to a
that's my
conversation I
one-up.
had with President Brad Fuller. But we'll go into that another time. We'll spare everyone that conversation. Okay, guys, let's talk about the personal rivalry that you guys obviously have. I'm assuming it's all good-natured. But do you guys... I've known a lot of tournament guys who would bet $1 on who would come out better in a tournament, and you would have to sign it or something like that, some little memento that they carried away from each tournament if a buddy of theirs beat them.
Ours is a 130-inch buck every year.
130-inch
Yeah.
buck?
A whitetail deer.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I won that one.
130.
Yeah, I've been paying up.
Yeah, he was due. I went to his house last year and shot a good deer. So it. We're gonna go back and forth. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
It might be.
We're going to Texas this year.
Well, South Carolina, for whatever reason, not really known for big deer.
It's got some good ones. It's got a lot of deer.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a lot.
Got a lot of deer hunters
booners.
too.
Not a lot of booners. Not a lot of.
Nah, not a lot of Boone Crook. No,
nothing like that.
You want to know why? You're a
Sure.
big stat guy. 70s or 80s, what happened when the deer population was really low? It was in South Carolina and Georgia. I don't know if it was hunters, why the population was low. But Georgia, what they did was they went up north to like Iowa, Illinois, brought the deer down and reboosted the population. South Carolina went to the islands, went to the coast, and got the coast deer and brought them
like a
inland.
key deer.
It's a
not
key
a
deer.
deer.
It is
Yeah.
literally a key deer, Ken.
That's
and
terrible.
the genetics are not what they typically are.
See, I live in Florida, and y'all have seen those deer crossing signs. That's actual size of a Florida deer.
Yeah.
You can actually hit it, and it's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's not big. That's not big. All right, any bets on this tournament?
No.
No. Any bet for who's going to finish higher in Angler of the Year? When are you going to win an Angler of the Year award? Speaking of Angler of the Year,
Whenever it's my time.
Oh, whatever.
Whenever I can be consistent enough, If I'm
Whenever you
consistent
can fish
enough.
all the tournaments.
Also true.
That's
so there's a couple
another
years. It
problem.
was probably if I'd have just fished the fifth one or the sixth one. I'd have probably done okay.
In 2022, if you had fished the one you missed and finished 17th or better, you're AOY.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. I would have put money on you. Too late for that. All right, so no gambling like that. No
we
bragging
gamble for a
rights?
living.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, one more question for each of you, and then I am going to let you guys get out of here and eat more ice cream. This is such a mental game, and even though you guys have a lot more success than you do failure, you're both so good. When you have a bad day or have a bad tournament, how long do you beat yourself up, or how long do you sit on that and deal with that before you get past it and head to the next event?
One day.
You give yourself
You
one
get
day?
1 day to be pouty.
Yeah.
Or you get to fish 2 tours and have back-to-back-to-backs, and you don't get a day.
I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours.
But the drive home,
after the tournament,
happens.
you get 2 to 3 hours, and you soak it up, and then when you lay in bed, you forget about it. It's gone. I mean, you can ask Tanner. I mean, he traveled with me on the lease years. I've had some bad days.
Yeah, but then Drew comes home to his son, who's a huge Kyle Welcher fan, from what I understand.
I mean,
That happens.
that actually did happen. That's actually go Kyle Welcher.
His son is a huge Kyle Welcher fan.
That would actually that would take a little. That would actually take a little more.
The year he started talking was the year that Welcher beat me on the Elite Series for AOI, and then last year he beat me on NPFL for AOI. So all he knows is Kyle Welcher won. But he's a big fan, and I like Kyle. Me and Kyle are good friends.
Kyle's a heck of a
Good guy.
fisherman.
Very
He's
good
a
fisherman.
dang good stick.
This is not a shot. I can't believe you guys have not taken down a major AOI, either one of you, because I predicted that for both of you. I predict that basically for both of you every year.
We have a really good tendency of screwing ourselves in one tournament.
He's not wrong. Like I said,
Like even
our biggest
if
enemy
we
is
could just
ourselves.
have 60ths instead of 80ths,
85th or something like
Yeah.
that.
You know.
Yeah.
last year
it would
Florida.
help the cause.
And I'm usually okay in Florida, but I get bored with things, and I'm like, I swear, I'm like, I don't do the same thing twice ever. Try not to.
I'm not exactly sure on how long the stretch went, but at one point, of course, the Elite Series started in 2006 when both of you were just embryos. But I think for like the first,
I was in 6th grade, kid.
okay,
I'm surprised you won't grade you're in. It's impressive.
It goes with the year. 2006, 6th grade. 2007, 7th grade. Graduated in 2012.
What year did you graduate college? 16 or 17?
I don't remember that.
Oh, wow. He remembers what year he was in 6th grade, but he doesn't remember which year he graduated a university. Okay.
I took some victory
Continue,
laps
Ken.
too, so it
We
doesn't. The
apologize.
math don't math on that one.
He
not-
sounded
you're not a
very
math major,
educated,
are you?
and then he started speaking, and then it was like, God.
I'm not as educated as I'd like to be, but I do remember one weird stat about Van Dam, and that was for like the first 7 or 8 years of the Elite Series, his worst finish was 57th. And that's mind-numbing.
That's catching bass.
That's whacking them. That's finding a way. And when I look at the numbers you guys put up, especially the numbers you put up last year, where you were so great on day 3, that struck me as being that level of a stat, because that's a guy who doesn't give up. That's a guy who's finding a way to establish his pattern or establish his technique and bring more water into it, take it further places. Because you guys know, and you guys face this in a lot of tournaments, maybe you go out there on day 1 and you whack them, but you've got 5, 6, 8, 10 boats there with you, and you can't go back there maybe.
Yeah, you got to burn it to the ground and figure something else out.
Exactly. And that was his situation every stinking day. And you find a way to do that, and that's spectacular. And you blew me away last year when I talked to you about how on day 1 you told me you go and you pay a visit to every place you plan to fish during the tournament to establish your presence there, and to take away from anybody the thought that you're moving in on them and poaching on them. I think that's spectacular. That's next level, but it does cost you a little bit on day 1. I think
there's some people that have that same approach, but they just don't fish. They just ride to see where you're fishing.
Oh yeah, the bent rod pattern is strong.
That's the Florida special.
And then once they get back and see the results, they're like, I saw him up there.
And what's also
Red
strong?
carded.
What I've seen also strong. I haven't witnessed it in the NPFL, but I know it goes on in other leagues. The idea that, and I don't think this is dishonest or wrong necessarily, but they'll see you in an area and they'll say, okay, I know another area like this, and I'm going to go see if I can't capitalize upon what
That's fine.
Patrick or Drew
As
is
long
doing
as it's
here.
not,
Seems like a smart person.
yeah, no, as long as it's not like, this is the area.
No, yeah.
You know, there's a difference.
There is
a difference.
A very
yes.
well-known pro who has a reputation for that.
Which one?
I'll tell you once the show's over.
That's about to get good.
I was going to say, you might get some chat.
I mean, by the way, we're actually selling a subscription, y'all, till after the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be the post game.
What's the thing?
That's going to, you want to get the details.
We're
going to talk some
after
smack.
dark or Bass After Dark after the NPFL show.
Yeah.
It's like all the juice.
Yeah. This is who we are talking trash about.
No.
We
That
actually
is
don't talk trash.
yours is Bass After Dark, right?
Bass After
Okay,
Dark.
I thought I had that.
You did. You were right. You were right.
Yeah, I'm asking you guys to be on there. He's been on there once, but since you started out hating me, I didn't think you'd be on. So, but I'm gonna ask you to be on one time. I wear a smoking jacket and an ascot on that, but it's another time. It's another show. We're wrapping it up here, guys. But I want to thank you both and wish you both great luck, great
Ken,
success.
thank
Greg, come on in if you don't mind. Put on a headset. I want to talk to the man who owns and runs Carolina Sweet Shop here on West Boyce Street in Manning, South Carolina. Greg, this is a fabulous, fabulous sweet shop, man. You got, 48 flavors of ice cream?
Yeah.
That's astounding. How long have you been here?
This is our first year. We've been here 1 year and about 2 weeks.
I hope it's wildly successful because this is a gorgeous shop. You've got everything, and you've got more than just ice cream. Tell us what you offer here.
Yeah, we got all different types of candy, chocolates, candy for kids, just different gifts and stuff like that. Not only do we have 48 flavors of ice cream, we also switch them out all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
That way, every time you come in, it's always something different.
And not only the sweet shop here, but I understand you're also in the barbecue business.
I wish.
No, not in the okay. My mistake on that. But folks, you need to come out here to West Boyce Street in Manning, South Carolina. Check out the Carolina Sweet Shop. But Greg, I also wanted to talk to you because you're also a fish head.
Yeah, I love to fish.
That's wonderful. Greg showed me a ton of great pictures of him with largemouths from Santee Cooper, with snook and peacocks from Florida. What's your passion? What's your favorite fish to catch?
I love bass fishing. I really do. But I'm a fisherman just in general. I just love to do it. I love to travel. Like I said, I've peacocked in Ida, and I've gone, to Chesapeake Bay. I've been to the Keys. I just like to fish in general. Different fish, different scenarios.
That's wonderful. And what an amazing resource you have here with the Santee Cooper Lakes, Marion, and Moultrie.
I love it here.
What's your favorite time to fish, Santee Cooper?
It's always pre-spawn.
Pre-spawn. Well,
I mean, come on.
That's where we're at right now.
Sure.
You've been out recently?
I have not. I've been busy at work. But I was in staring at the boat today, kind of like, come on. But I'm going to get ready to take a little bit of time off.
So if somebody comes to Carolina Sweet Shop,
Yes,
here in
sir.
Manning, South Carolina, and they happen to drop in and they see you, not only can they get some fabulous ice cream, some amazing other sweets, treats, chocolate, fudge, you name it, but they can also probably get some bass fishing advice.
Always. I'll talk to anybody about fishing.
That's awesome, man. That's absolutely fantastic. This is a wonderful place. You know, it's not often that we get the right camera shot to show you a bit of the offerings, but it looks like you got jelly beans up there. It looks like you got a little of everything.
Yeah, we really do.
And that's awesome. But the hours, you got to get here during the daytime, right?
Yeah, we're 12 to 5 right now, and that's our winter hours. In the summertime, we're open a little bit later, Tuesday through Sunday. So,
Well, you just have to stock up. If you're only there Tuesday through Sunday, you got to stock up. What's your favorite bass fishing technique? How do you like to catch them?
I don't really have one. I like jerk baits. I'm a big jerk bait fisherman. Gotta love that. But just depends on time of year. I'm not a big bed fisherman, believe it or not.
No, you said
No.
you like the pre-spawn, but not so much the bed fishing?
I do. I don't have the patience sometimes, but take it however I can get it. I also like to night fish, believe it or not. I love to fish on docks and lights.
Okay, do you fish around the docks and lights, or do you fish from the docks?
No,
Or
around the
lights?
docks at night.
Oh, cool. Yeah, people look at all the cypress trees, all the standing timber you have out here, all the hay fields you have on Santee Cooper. They don't think necessarily about getting out there at night. Of course, you also got a ton of cottonmouths and some alligators too, right?
Well, not when you're on a boat.
Well, you don't have to worry about them too much on the boat. but-
Those alligators,
Yeah.
they won't bother you. They just look mean.
I live in Florida. They'll bother you. But yeah, Santee Cooper is just an amazing body of water, and it's been.
Well, it really is. We have every different scenario. You can go up and you can fish the cypress trees, or come down and fish the eelgrass, or you can go all the way down to the lower lake, which completely is different than everything you've seen here.
Yeah, Lower Lake is Moultrie. It's about 60,000 acres. The Upper Lake is Marion. It's 110,000 acres. And what people don't realize is, of course, the state record came out of Lake Marion at 16 pounds 2 ounces back in 1949, and the world record channel catfish came out of the diversion canal, the 7.5 mile long canal that connects these two lakes. And that fish weighed 58 pounds. I think it was caught.
That's
in the
big for a
60s.
channel. Yeah,
that's a world record. And then, of course, I think for a long time, one of the world record of the crappie species came out of Santee Cooper. I can't remember if it was the white crappie or the black crappie, but
I believe it was white.
yeah, but it was over 5 pounds. So just some amazing fishing opportunities like really nowhere else in the country.
Unbelievably, like nowhere else in the country. Our
Yeah.
fish are just big. Even our crappie. I mean, to catch a 1.5 pound, 2 pound crappie is not that big.
Not a big deal here.
Yeah,
A big deal
Our
everywhere
catfish,
else.
20, 30, 40 pounds, no big deal.
That's amazing. Well, Greg, thanks so much.
Thank you. I
so much
appreciate you.
for being our venue for Roundtable tonight. We really appreciate you. And thanks so much for all the treats. And I can tell you that Drew Cook and Patrick Walters really enjoyed their ice cream.
They
I can
did.
see it, yeah.
But you guys come back anytime. You're always welcome here.
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate that.
No problem.
I'm going to sign us off here from Roundtable, folks. Thanks for joining us. Our tournament begins Thursday, March 6th, just a couple of days from now. The live weigh-ins Thursday, Friday, Saturday start at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's where you're going to catch Big Al McCullough. He will bring the boom to you. Live coverage of competition begins on Friday. It runs Friday and Saturday. It starts at 8 in the morning and ends at 1 p.m. That's where you're going to see Luke Duncan and Fat Cat Newton bringing you all the action, lots of coverage from on the water, lots of expert commentary. They do it with a sense of humor and a style unmatched. They are absolutely the best in the business. Roundtable, that's it for this edition, but we'll be back at the next tournament in a few weeks, so we hope you'll join us then. Don't know who my guests are going to be at that one, but we'll get that all scheduled. Meanwhile, folks, come on back. Get back here on Thursday. We'll have live coverage beginning at 8 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to have live coverage beginning with the weigh-in at 3 p.m. on Thursday. Then the live daily coverage beginning at 8 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. So don't miss it. We will catch you all soon. And I'm going to let Brad Fuller